Professor Tawana Coupe, members of the Executive of Exxaro and the University of Pretoria, Professors Ina Furi and Professor Ronnie Weber Youngman, our heads of departments, our deputy deans, chairs of schools, UP staff, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to this event, and I trust you all are healthy and safe given the current pandemic. This evening is a great event for us, where we launch the Exxaro Chair in Extended Reality Technology. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Tawana Coupe, to officially welcome you and open this evening's function. Professor Coupe.
Thank you, Professor Maharaj, for that hearty welcome. Exxaro Executive, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Mxolisi Mhojo, Executive Head Projects and Technology, Mr. Johan Meyer, Group Manager Mining, Mr. Chris Ballot, Group Manager Engineering, Mr. Baltimore Miles, UP Executive Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment, Information Technologies, and all those who are viewing this event today. It's a momentous event. Tonight, the University of Pretoria celebrates the launch of the Exxaro Chain Extended Reality (Exxaro) technology in the Department of Information Science. It is a milestone for the research that is done by staff specializing in multimedia in that department and for their collaboration with the Department of Mining Engineering. The launch of the chair is a game changer for training in mining operations and, in particular, mining safety. That would not be possible without the generous financial support from Exxaro over a 3-year period and without the vision and initiative of Professor Weber Youngman, Koos de Beer, Yanni Maritz, and the support of Dean Maharaj. The funding will contribute to making the University of Pretoria a leader in digital transformation on the African continent and make our graduates ready for the future of work. Amongst other things, developers will be appointed to work on virtual and augmented reality applications to use in Exxaro training facilities, to improve production and technology selection, to build capacity and expertise among developers, and to create opportunities for students in both multimedia and mining engineering to work on industry-related projects. In negotiations with Exxaro and in signing the contract, 3 issues stood out. Why would Exxaro consider such an investment? How will the University of Pretoria deliver on promises, and what will be the benefits? First, why would Exxaro consider the investment? The future needs innovative technology to cope with the challenges of the 4th Industrial Revolution, 4IR as it's called. Exxaro technology offers a strategic intervention in dealing with mining-related challenges. Mining and other industries are investing in Exxaro technology solutions to optimize their resources. The ubiquitous nature of Exxaro technology and its applications and its relevance for mining-related challenges needs to be explored. Many companies lack the know-how to implement Exxaro technology successfully. Exxaro can be a leader. The virtual reality and interaction VRI laboratory in the Department of Information Science is already actively involved in research and development and the education of future developers, designers, and researchers relating to Exxaro technology in a spectrum of contexts. With support from the Department of Mining Engineering, they can work with mining applications. How are we at the University of Pretoria going to deliver on expectations? The University of Pretoria, through the departments that I've mentioned, Information Science and Mining Engineering, will select the most effective Exxaro technology for specific applications and then design interactions that enable intuitive interaction with virtual environments. Do extensive user testing of proposed solutions to ensure that the solutions address the challenges. Expose users to the technology through creative interactive paradigms and experiences. Make the application of the Exxaro technology as accessible as possible. Educate and train the next generation of developers and researchers with real-world projects unique to Exxaro technology and immersive learning. What are the benefits? The Exxaro chair in Exxaro technology, in XR technology, offers a framework for using XR technology to address challenges and to identify which of the available technologies will best serve selected solutions. Virtual reality can be used to communicate, facilitate, interact, or influence. Examples of technology trade-offs include the application and utilization of individual or shared virtual reality, VR, mobile VR versus tethered VR versus cave setup, tracked versus untracked VR space, hand tracking versus full body tracking. The chair offers to Exxaro the opportunity to obtain access to XR intervention expertise and facilities in the departments of information science and mining engineering, have a channel for contributing towards social development of the people of South Africa by identifying suitable postgraduate students and providing them with financial support through bursaries as part of the objectives to build XR technology capacity and capability. The two academic departments, the mining industry and society at large, will greatly benefit from this initiative and the work that will be done in the chair. We thank Exxaro for their generous contribution over a 3-year period to make the potential presented in negotiations a reality, and we hope that this will be the start of a long, sustained relationship. I congratulate the staff in the Department of Information Science, specifically Koos de Beer, and in the Department of Mining Engineering, specifically Professor Ronnie Weber-Youngman and Yanni Maritz, in initiating the Exxaro XR chair and wish them all the success. I congratulate the Dean of the Faculty, Professor Sunil Maharaj, on yet another milestone and a first in the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology. Thank you for listening. I would now like to welcome Mr. Mxolisi Mhojo to address you, your audience tonight.
Thank you very much, Prof. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. By way of protocol, I want to acknowledge Professor Tawana Kupe, Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Sunil Maharaj, Dean of EBIT Faculty, Program Director, Professor Weber Young, HOD, Department of Mining and Engineering, Professor Ina Fori, Head of Department, Department of Information Science, Chairperson of the Exxaro Chair in XR Technology, my leadership team at Exxaro Resources, and all other distinguished guests who join us virtually for this event. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this auspicious occasion where we are initiating a strategic technological partnership which aims to advance and transform life as we know it today and the lives of future generations. Exxaro has a deep appreciation for the transformative power of cross-sector partnerships, such as the one we are launching today with the University of Pretoria. These partnerships enable us to jointly create a world that is more prosperous, inclusive, sustainable, and resilient. Undoubtedly, the mining industry is changing, and these inevitable changes have the potential to bolster innovation. As one of South Africa's largest black empowered resource company, we do recognize the need to evolve, adapt, and improve. In doing so, we drive excellence and empower our people, members of communities in which we operate, and the rest of the world. Often we hear businesses say they want to reach the next level, leading them to look towards new innovative avenues to re-energize growth. In this regard, Exxaro has demonstrated a commitment to excellence, and over the past 4 years, we have looked towards future-proofing our operations through efficiency improvements enhancing job security, and sustainable resource sourcing solutions, all through the application of the latest technologies and innovations. This led us to delve deeper into the potential of new technologies, setting our digital journey in motion. We have been able to overcome various hurdles by applying lean principles and gaining new insights in the process to obtain the best out of our people and our operations. In addition, digitalization, after all, aims to improve safety and wellness, disrupt and transform business models and operations, as well as facilitate collaborative initiatives. Exxaro's initial digitalization journey, which we refer to as Digital at Exxaro, started in 2017 with a specific strategy and roadmap. Realizing that greatness cannot stem from slow networks and archaic infrastructure, we invested in upgrading our networks, migrating systems to the cloud, enabling digital platforms, and transforming both the workplace and operations to be more digitally connected. Next, we identified opportunities in unlocking greater operational value by visualizing the mining value chain via our newly implemented integrated operations centers and enabling digital twins, IoT, predictive analytics, and other emerging technologies and software applications. And finally, we sought to drive functional excellence through digital solutions, including robotics, analytics, and replacing transactional systems like SAP with Coupa, a digital consumer-centric procurement platform. Today, we continue to drive an integrated approach across the entire organization from pit to port through what we call the middle eye. As our MVP of the middle eye, we provide value chain insights to Exxaro's leadership team for strategic decision-making, while promoting transparency, driving collaboration, and bias for action across the business. This enables us to respond smartly and on time to market demands. Other tribute that stands true to our continued innovation is our Belfast mine, the first ever of its kind digital and connected mine in South Africa, and I'm sure probably even in the world. The digital twin model was used to manage progress on construction activities, which enabled integrated construction planning and scheduling among all on-site construction partners. Furthermore, it provides real-time data analytics to increase safety, productivity, and design inputs for future projects. We've also rolled out a proximity detection system amongst our open cast mobile equipment and underground operations with geo-license identification systems to improve safety performance. After 4 years on this journey, we now understand how much value there is to be unlocked. Through this journey, we intend to achieve significant productivity improvement through digitalization and innovation, a goal we intend to achieve within the next few years. To date, we have seen a 5% plus productivity improvement in our flagship mine, Goedegeluk, and we continue to drive and scale initiatives across all our other operations. As part of our commitment to enhancing South Africa's educational and technological spheres, we are proud to announce this partnership with the University of Pretoria, where we are establishing the first ever Exxaro chair in extended reality technology. Through this collaboration, the Exxaro chair in XR technology will offer a framework, firstly, on how the XR technology can be used to addressing mining industry challenges. And secondly, on identifying the best available technologies for the solutions. This investment in technological advancement will allow for constant research towards a safer, economical, and more environmental sensitive form of mining. We are very proud to have made such a strategic partnership with the University of Pretoria, and to be one of the first mining companies to explore the potential benefits of XR technology as a strategic intervention across its operation. The Exxaro Chair in XR Technology Program will assist in selecting the most effective XR technology for the specific applications and then design interactions that can enable intuitive interaction with the virtual environment. It will also offer extensive user testing of proposed solutions to ensure that the solutions address and solve as many of the challenges as possible. We look forward to working with the Virtual Reality and Interaction Lab at an initiative of the Department of Information Science at the University of Pretoria, as well as the Department of Mining Engineering. Together, we are expanding upon the practical capabilities of XR in the South African context, while supporting our need for the industry to embrace the challenges of the fourth industrial revolution. The possibility of what we could develop are exciting and endless. In closing, we continue to strive for excellence, unlock more value, and improving the safety and the well-being of our peoples, employees, and communities through innovation and partnerships such as the one we are launching today. In doing so, we aim to continue to be a source of endless possibilities that will power the future while inspiring transformation and improving sustainable economic development in Africa and beyond. We look forward to a very strong, a very mutual, and very richly rewarding adventure between us into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mkhojo, for your very inspiring and thought-provoking and visionary words that you presented to us today. Indeed, I think we're so proud that we are partnering with Exxaro, because not only being a mining company, it's also innovating in the field of technology and in the field of ICT as well. So thank you very much again, and I'm sure we'll have further deliberations going forward. So I'd just like to say a little bit on the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology, so that people in the audience at large can know something about us. And of course, my colleagues, Professors Ronnie Weber-Youngman and Professor Inafuri, will say a little bit on their department as well. So in our faculty, which is called the EBIT faculty, stands for Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology, we want to continuously reposition and reimagine ourselves in the future of work. As we know, the future of work is changing very, very radically. And for our graduates to repurpose our research and its contribution to industry, and very importantly, to society at large. Technology is evolving on an exponential scale, and our EBIT faculty at the University of Pretoria is responding to this challenge by developing sustainable technologies for an inclusive society. Our faculty consists of 4 schools, namely the School of Engineering, which is by far the largest at our university and on the African continent, the School for the Built Environment, and the School for Information Technology, and lastly, our Graduate School of Technology Management, which only offers postgraduate programs. EBIT, as we know, is one of the few faculties at the South African universities to incorporate a unique blend of the fields of engineering, built environment, information technology, hence bringing a perfect platform for a reimagined future. Uniquely, we feature among the top 500 in the world in 6 subject areas in the latest 2021 QS World University Rankings by subject and our School of Engineering is ranked 356th out of more than 10,000 engineering schools in the field of engineering and technology across the whole world. So we are also particularly proud of the recognition received by our programs in minerals and mining engineering, which has been ranked, and Professor Weber-Youngman will tell you more about that, has been ranked among the top 50 worldwide in the 2021 rankings. Our School of Information Technology, and particularly Information Systems, is accredited by the Accreditation Board of Engineering and Technology, ABET, based in the USA. and it is the only IT school in South Africa with accreditation for its information systems program, and we're very proud of that. Our School of IT is the biggest of its kind in South Africa, and only one of 2 institutions in South Africa to be ranked in the top 500 in the latest 2021 QS rankings for computer science and information systems. EBIT students are being prepared for the new world beyond their university, one that has been shaped by the forces such as 4IR, COVID-19, Society 5.0, and others still to emerge. The Virtual Reality Design Center in our Mining Engineering Department, the first in Africa, and our Multimedia Design Lab in Information Science are further testimony to us continuously innovating so that our graduates are well educated to embrace the future of work and the future jobs that do not yet exist, like we're hearing about the great innovations that are happening at Exxaro. The launch of the Exxaro chair in extended reality technology is witness and testimony to the future-thinking approach of our faculty that is taking in close relationship with industry. Through our close ties with industry partners, we continuously search for collaboration opportunities to enhance the relevance of our academic programs and hence enable our students to acquire the scarce and highly specialized skills for the future world of work. I want to thank Mr. Mkhojo for his visionary leadership, which led to this partnership and us being here today. This chair brings together 2 distinct disciplines, one of mining engineering and IT together to work on unique opportunities for industry. Thank you, Exxaro, for investing in our students' future and making it possible to be moving the frontiers of innovation. As you indicated, technology and innovation is very important, but people, their lives, and very importantly, to have a sustainable environment for our future generation is very, very important. And this way of doing work in the virtual environment helps us to image, to mimic, and to plan and design what we would like to do in the future so that we do not have catastrophes and do not have threatening and kind of environments. And of course, end of the day, for South Africa to be globally competitive, we need high-level skills. And this is the kind of platform we would have to produce the high-level capital expertise that we need in this country. And thank you again. So it gives me great pleasure to ask my colleague, Professor Ina Fourie, who is a B-rated, NRF-rated researcher and also head for the Department of Information Science, to now address you. Professor Fourie.
Thank you, Prof. Maraj, and good evening to everybody. Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the University of Pretoria, Prof. Kupe, CEO of Exxaro Resources, Mr. Magoyo, EBIT Dean, Prof. Maraj, and our other distinguished guests, as Head of Department of Information Science, it is an honor to address you for this virtual launch. In particular, I want to welcome the staff and students working and studying in the Department of Information Science, and in particular in the multimedia field of specialization. They represent the future of what the Exxaro Chair in XR Technology can achieve in delivering on its commitments. I also want to extend a very warm word of welcome to alumni of the multimedia degrees. What you have achieved in industry and academia strengthens our beliefs that we can dream big and that the chair would fulfill the vision I will sketch tonight. With the Exxaro Chair in XR Technology, we are, however, not starting from scratch. Without the groundbreaking vision to start the multimedia degrees, bachelor's, honors, and masters, there would not have been people like Koos de Beer and his colleagues lecturing in multimedia and building expertise in virtual reality, extended reality, and other immersive technologies. There would not have been people who could negotiate with Exxaro to invest in a chair. My vision for the chair, therefore, builds on the work of my predecessors, former heads of department, the late Prof. Hans Boon, and in particular, Professor Tu Botma. I also owe credit to Prof. Archie Dick, who during his term as head of department supported Koos and Prof. Ronnie to pursue the dream of an Exxaro-funded chair in XR Technology. For a few moments, I will therefore step back to reflect on the past as the basis for my vision for the future. In the late 1980s, early 1990s, the Department of Information Science changed its focus from library science to information science under the leadership of the then head of department, the late Professor Hans Boon. When Prof. Tu Botma joined the department in 1991, he was tasked to develop content in the areas of hypertext, hypermedia and multimedia. During these early days, Prof. Botma organized various hypermedia conferences, invited international keynote speakers, and attended international conferences on hypermedia, hypertext and multimedia in Europe, the UK and the USA. These enabled him to observe new trends and technologies, to spearhead the introduction of the multimedia degree, programs at the bachelor's, honors and master's levels, and to secure interdisciplinary support from other departments, such as computer science and visual arts. In 1998, the initial BA Multimedia degree was renamed as the BIS degree, Bachelor of Information Science, with specialization in multimedia. From 1993 to 1999, the department also presented short courses as continuing professional development programs for information professionals and the general public, including topics related to multimedia and hypermedia principles and development. The Department of Information Science showed leadership in gaining national recognition for innovative thinking, striving for a balance between practical implementation and industry needs and theory, curriculum development, establishing forums for scholarly discourse and collaboration enriched by international expertise, and above all, for capacity building and empowerment of newcomers to the field, and for stimulating awareness amongst library and information professionals and society at large. Since the early days, the programs in multimedia have gone from strength to strength. Existing modules were regularly revised, new modules were added, industry collaboration increased, and new technologies and platforms were regularly introduced. This led, among staff members, to an enhanced interest in gaming and game development, both in research and in the learning and teaching environment, in virtual reality and immersive technologies, which eventually led to the establishment of the Virtual Reality and Interaction Lab in the Department of Information Science. Further extension of collaboration across disciplinary boundaries led to collaboration with the Department of Mining Engineering, closer ties with industry, and now to the establishment of the Exxaro chair in Exxaro technology. Part of my vision for the chair is to reclaim and extend on the existing reputation the Department of Information Science has developed in multimedia education. Moving forward, I hope that the chair will enable the department to draw on industry and multidisciplinary collaboration, such as with the Department of Mining Engineering, to uphold a collaborative coalition globally renowned for development of standards and best practices for using XR and other immersive technologies in the mining industry as a point of departure, innovative leadership in the use of immersive and XR technologies in mining safety training and related challenges experienced in the mining industry. That entails recognition for tailored product development and the development of methodologies to audit and map industry challenges to software solution. To be renowned for driving generic, interdisciplinary transferable XR solutions for safety training and eventually other applications, renowned for innovative and rigorous use of multi-methods research methodology to strengthen XR scholarship and postgraduate and postdoctoral research, such as action research, agile methodology, participatory design, user experience testing and user participation, analytical autoethnography and systematic and critical interpretive reviews might be considered. Be renowned for graduates and their supervisors that can be recognized for the brilliance of their products and innovations, the rigor of their research and the impact of their work in academia, in industry and society at large. Renowned for innovative instructional design and didactics in training XR developers, designers and researchers. Renowned for the formation of communities of practices and platforms for stimulating engaging scholarly discourse, Webinars, workshops, symposia, innovation hubs offer excellent opportunities to establish leadership in setting trends for recruiting postgraduate researchers and to establish research collaboration. Renowned for the ability to raise awareness amongst marginalized communities for potential careers in XR technology, development and use, and for addressing equity disparities, for innovative short introductory training opportunities for the public in the use of immersive and XR technologies. My vision for the Exxaro chair can be captured in a few words. Using external funding to meet the development needs of the funder, but above all to secure an international scholarly reputation for development, research, theory and curriculum development, interdisciplinary collaboration and exemplary dissemination of research and products. The Exxaro chair in XR technology should enable the funder and the receivers of funds to be recognized as leaders in addressing social inclusion, equity and diversity. My grandmother used to say, it was very appropriate at the time, that you can never have enough handkerchiefs. An academic department and a research chair can never have enough people committed, with eyes listening with excitement and dreams of achievement and making a difference. The Exxaro funding would make this possible. Thank you for your time, and I'm really looking into the future with great excitement and making a difference through valuable partnerships. I would now like to call on Prof. Weber Youngman to address you.
The Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Tawane Kupe, the Dean of the Faculty of EBIT, Professor Maraj, Mr. Ngojo, the CEO of Exxaro, fellow colleagues, distinguished guests, thank you for your attendance tonight, and thank you for allowing me to add on to what Professor Fourie has actually added. We've actually started this approach of having a non-silo approach in our research environment, because at the end of the day, having other people involved in your decision-making actually makes quite sure that you, at the end of the day, make the right decision that could also be accepted by all parties involved. This interdisciplinary research initiative between the Department of Information Science and the Department of Mining Engineering would have 10 years not have been found possible, but the circumstances and the conditions under which we operate nowadays actually guided us into that situation. Now, as a true mining engineer and being head of the department, when I've heard of gamification in mining, I actually felt a bit, this is not possible. Because how do you make a very important environment like mining into a gaming environment? And that is when I started realizing that at the end of the day, it's learning into a gamification environment, which is using the game design elements in a non-gaming context. And then also when we look at gameful design, is that the goal of gameful design is to afford the motivating, enjoyable experiences and characteristics for gameplay in a non-gaming context. And once I got to be educated in this understanding, it became more and more feasible for me to look at the impact of visualization and what we're actually going to do in future. So I'm not going to repeat what Professor Kupe has actually said to you guys, but from a perspective of why the need for extended reality technology implementation as a game changer in industry is that as a mining company, you have to be ahead of the pack to be actually very profitable and also be sustainable in the long run. So in my summary, and in terms of what Professor Kupe said, I really believe that there's a real need to explore and implement XR technology as much as possible, and in that way creating better working environments for all of us. How is the significance of XR technology interventions realizing? And it's quite important, and this has been highlighted by Professor Fourie and also Professor Kupe, that it is quite important that we as departments have to collaborate and work in an environment that will make a significant contribution towards a successful chair relationship and also meet the expectations of Exxaro, the funder of this project of ours. And then also if we look at what are the real benefits in achieving the why-how approach with regards to XR technology that was mentioned earlier. It's quite important that in the context of what we've said before is that the Exxaro chair in XR technology will offer a framework. And I think the word framework is the important part here of how we're going to actually use XR technology and how we're going to use that to address the respective challenges in the mining industry. I also believe quite strongly that the successful implementation of XR technology as a strategic intervention across identified mining operations is quite important and will definitely in a big way lead to being a game changer. And then also why the interactive immersive technology, and I think this is something that we stepped on with our Kumba Virtual Reality Center for Mine Design, where we actually found that when we started teaching our students in this immersive environment, that the retention and also the understanding of very complex scenarios were actually very much explained and actually became much easier to understand. The important point that I want to make is that in the context of our face-to-face training, nowadays is not always possible, and with the actual pandemic, we actually found that it was actually in a position that actually forced us out of our comfort zones and really made us think about how do we transfer knowledge more effectively. And in the big way, if you have large audiences that you have to teach in the context of education and learning, it sometimes takes a long time, and I believe that the use of immersive technology would definitely add value in the context of speedy training and also speedy understanding. Different literacy levels on mines. The university know that I've put a strong emphasis on literacy levels in my department, and I also believe that visualization and the context of visualization makes it quite easy to actually enhance very, very difficult mining scenarios and make it for the students quite acceptable to actually know what they're learning, and also then also enhances the potential for the application related to that. So the immersive interactive or the interactive immersive technology implementation already changes the way we learn, and in many ways the application of knowledge in the education and training space. It has been proven before and also confirmed as such all along, is that it actually ensures a knowledge retention and the application of knowledge actually quite significantly. And that is something that I've seen with my VR center as well. Immersive education at its core is designed to engage trainees, giving the sense to be there and to be involved. Augmented reality on the other side, and all of these components that I've mentioned so far, is the whole approach of the whole XR technology in the environment that we're working with. And the whole immersive education, like I said, is that it's augmented reality as part of this whole mixed reality, or what we call mixed reality, is by the incorporating of smartphones, which I do believe is really because of its mobility that it actually enhances the learning experience. And then the virtual reality and augmented reality connects the user to the study material as such, and also then enhancing the learning experience and also the retention of knowledge in a very, very big way. And then the age of immersion is in full swing. I think we need to be part of that, and I think our department already 5 years ago saw the value of immersiveness in the context of 3D, and we actually took that ball and we ran with it. And at the end of the day, the slogan in my department is I actually educate and lead my students to become Imagineers. It's the imagining of engineering solutions for the complexity in the mining environment. From an Exxaro chair perspective, there were certain outcomes that we envisaged as a collaborative effort between the Department of Information Science, Multimedia, and also my department, is how will we collaborate as the two departments to actually make sure that this is actually going to become a success story. What we then decided on was to actually say that there's a few outcomes that we envisaged for this, and the first one was to say that as a combination between the multimedia environment and also the mining engineering environment, is that we would be developing proof of concepts that we would be deploying in Exxaro. The second one was to use Exxaro as a research platform to evaluate the effectivity of the XR interventions, as was highlighted by Professor Fourie as well. And I think for me, is the most important one, is also the establishing the viability within a mining industry context of these interventions as a potential game changer. But which I think is very close to Mr. Ngorjo's view as well, is that all of these interventions need to improve safety and health, productivity, and enhance sustainability of responsible mining. And I really like the word responsible mining through the use and implementation of Exxaro technology. And I do believe that it will definitely be possible with the work that we have already started doing. The topics that we've identified so far as a collaboration is the current state of Exxaro technology in the South African mining industry. We've actually got a mining student that is involved with this and is helping us with the actual research on that. Because you need to know what it is that you don't know, and at the end of the day, build your resources around those. The second one was the application areas for Exxaro technology in the SA mining industry. And then the last one, as a focus area, is the use of Exxaro technology on all levels of the mining operation. This is just a quick picture of the various laboratories that we have available, which actually proves to Exxaro that we actually have the capacity, and we actually, with the funding being made, have the capability and the ability to do the research in the various areas has been identified. And on the picture, you can see that we have our the Mine Design Center, a virtual reality center, the 360-degree dome, and in which we also then simulate real-life mining environments as such, and the VRI lab on the right-hand side, and the head-mounted displays, which actually I believe is going to be a very major contributor in terms of enhancing the learning experience. The next slide just shows some pictures of the tools that we're going to use in this whole process, and at the end of the day, having instructional design as highlighted on the right-hand picture to give you a very good idea how you can make learning material very alive by using QR photos and videos coming into play as a 3D platform. So in conclusion, I would like to highlight the following. Historically, ways of education and training only are no longer applicable and needs to be adapted accordingly. I do believe that a hybrid incorporating interactive immersive technology system is definitely needed. Education and training needs to follow the trends as needed to be used to deal with the challenges related to the fourth industrial revolution. The changes in the complexity is so dynamic that we have to stay on top of the wave, and that we need to drive it in a very, inverted commas, aggressive way. We are dealing with a visual generation. It's the first time in history that we have 5 generations of people reporting to people in the same team, and that, in way, visualization can add a major contributor at the end of the day. We therefore need to adapt in all areas of the mining industry and already being implemented as such. Some companies, however, still hesitant to adopt or to adapt accordingly. Exxaro technology incorporating interactive immersiveness will further enhance the learning experience, and I would like to emphasize it's about the look, the feel, the interact, the do, engage, and retention of knowledge through it, and in this way create a safer, healthier, productive, and responsible mining practices. The University of Pretoria, through its Department of Information Science and the Department of Mining Engineering, are excited about this opportunity and want to thank Mr. Ngorjo and his team for their vision in this regard and believing in us and for allowing us this great opportunity for collaboration. I thank you.
Thank you, Professor Fourie, and thank you, Prof. Ronnie. As you can see, the passion in these two colleagues of mine in terms of bringing two different facets together and bringing some confluence to see how we address problems in the world. As you know, problems in the world, or challenges as they put it, is not an engineering matter, it's not a technology matter, it's not a society matter. It's a confluence of all the different aspects, as Mr. Ngorjo said, that how we do things to improve safety, to improve people's lives, to improve society. And this is exactly showing that how we bring in not only IT and engineering, but we bring in the humanities, the social sciences, and the sociology people together. And Professor Cooper is always leading this transdisciplinary research, at University of Pretoria and always advocating how we need to bring groups together to address and have impactful research so that we transform society not only in South Africa and Africa, but the world at large. And South Africa can be a trailblazer and a leader in this aspect because of our uniqueness, our diversity in our communities, the diversity in the challenges we have, and how we can bring unique and innovative solutions. And I think this is an excellent opportunity, and we thank Exxaro again for trusting us and coming and wanting to work with the University of Pretoria in taking this vision and this kind of opportunity forward. So ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to ask our two distinguished leaders, Professor Tawana Kupe and Mr. Mkhojo, to unveil the plaque reflecting this Exxaro chair in extended reality. And please, if you can join me on the extreme, on my right-hand side, to unveil this plaque. Thank you very much, Mr. Mkhojo and Professor Kupe. If we can just read there, the Exxaro chair in XR technology, officially launched by Mr. Mxolisi Mkhojo, CEO of Exxaro, and Professor Tawana Kupe, Vice Chancellor and Principal, University of Pretoria, on the 1st of September 2021, as 1st of September is Spring Day, so it's a springing of a new partnership that brings us together to take us into a new future. And thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you very much. And of course, I think we have come very much to the end of today's proceedings. I'm sure you can all join us there celebrating this momentous and great event to take South Africa forward. As you know, as we go into the 4IR and maybe looming onto the 5IR, and this Friday, on the 3rd of September, we're having a great event called Society 5.0, a discussion of technology and people coming together. So please, if you can join us on our platform. You go to the UP website, you can get details on that. And this is basically manifesting and taking forward these kind of initiatives to a different level and engaging with different role players and that. So we'll welcome you to join us again on that particular event on this Friday, the 3rd of September. And of course, I'd like to thank, first of all, Exxaro again for supporting us and the leadership in Exxaro for driving this, and not only at the executive level, but at the operational level, where we're getting expertise from Exxaro feeding into the departments, so to give ideas and to guide the research and to guide the ideas that's going on, so that bringing these different parties with different strengths and different ideas together to enrich this whole research, immersion, piloting, testing, and developing prototypes in the laboratory, and eventually rolling it out and testing it in the real environment. And I'd like to thank them for that as well. And of course, without saying, our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Cooper, who is very passionate about taking University of Pretoria to a new level and supporting us in all our endeavors and driving us to dream bigger and to try new initiatives. Thank you, Professor Cooper, again, for your support and initiatives and efforts and your excitement and enthusiasm. That's kind of reflective among the work that the different people in the university do, and thank you very much for that. And of course, my two colleagues in the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and IT, Professor Ronnie Weber-Youngman from mining, who has very passionate and has built a good relationship with the mining industry, being a miner himself. And this year, being a momentous year for us, we celebrate 60 years of mining at University of Pretoria. We're very proud of that, and we have done very well. And like I said, we now recognize in the top 50 in the world in mining engineering and metallurgical engineering in the world. And that has been very, very significant in our endeavors and milestones. And Professor Ronnie, thank you for taking us in that direction. And we certainly want to be looked at maybe in the top 10 going in the next 60 years. And of course, Professor Inafuri for her work in information science in the School of IT. And of course, leading this initiative from the IT perspective, and of course, guiding the members in her department to take this forward. And of course, I'd like to thank our marketing and communication people for helping us to put this event together. And of course, you, the audience. Without you and without your success and without you sharing in our success and your partnership, we would not be in this position to showcase some of these initiatives. And thank you very much for joining us and the support we get. At University of Pretoria, we always believe in what we call the triple helix model. The partnership between the corporates, the industry, the university, that's the leadership from the executive, and our very passionate and hardworking staff. And the third element being our very bright and hardworking students. So these three parties together form the ecosystem to take us forward as tertiary and a higher education institution. And we thank you all for supporting us in those endeavors. And of course, like I mentioned, industry plays a very important part. And we have in our faculty something like 30 industry-sponsored chairs, centers, and institute. And that's mainly externally funded activities. And we only can do that is through the partnership with industry. The different industries, as you heard this evening, mentioned, and others as well. And through those partnerships, we can build our quality, build our infrastructure, support industry, and develop the students for the future world of work. And we're very humbled and honored and really, really appreciative of the work and the support we get from industry. And we hope we can build on that further, because without this partnership and each one of us holding hands, we cannot take this country forward into the kind of wisdom and the vision and the dream we all aspire to have for this country. And again, thank you very much. Please be safe. And pity we cannot join together over a glass of wine or a cold drink or a coffee. But hopefully circumstances may change after we all get vaccinated, and that we can all share sometime down the line this Exxaro chair in extended reality, what it has achieved, what it can showcase, and how it went from today over the next 3 years. Thank you very much. Good evening. Take care. God bless, and all the best.